Welcome to Story Lab. This week we're talking about kindness while we take a look at someone who brought light wherever he went. Huh. I thought my lantern was in here.
Hey, I'm Carter.
And I'm Zeke,
We're talking about kindness.
which is showing others they are valuable by how you treat them.
I thought you were getting ready to go camping.
I am.
This looks more like crafting to me.
Well, I can't find my camping lantern, so I'm making one.
With tissue?
Oh, with this.
Hey, that's mine.
Well, you don't mind donating it for the cause of camping, right?
Ew. Ugh. Kids, do not do that at home.
Well, there's like 4 swallows left.
We could probably do a whole show on what happens when you drink out of a bottle.
Studies have shown that the average reusable water bottle contains 40,000 times more bacteria than a toilet seat.
Ew! Oh, gross.
Sanitize your water bottles, folks.
Well, I'm not gonna use this bottle to drink out of anyways.
Fine, it's all yours.
Excellent. Ta-da!
Cool, but I think you missed the part where a lantern is supposed to light up.
Oh, well, I'll just toss in a few glow sticks.
Fair enough, but that's not going to keep you warm.
Yeah, and my dad is terrible at starting campfires.
Maybe you can give him a few tips.
From Flame Master Zeke. Oh, gosh.
Let's make it! First of all, never ever try to start a campfire without an adult.
And always keep a bucket of water and sand handy. Also, settle for real nature and not just a cheesy backdrop.
When you're ready to start, step 1 is to look around your fire pit area for 3 different kinds of wood.
First off, you got tinder. That's small twigs, dry leaves, or pine needles.
Then, some kindling. Larger sticks about less than an inch around. And we have more kindling that are just slightly above an inch.
Finally, you've got fuel.
Your fuel is larger pieces of split logs, branches, or even firewood that you can pick up at the store.
What next?
Next, it's time to build. Take a couple handfuls of tinder and pile them in your fire pit.
Right there.
Then add some kindling and build a little tent over your tinder. Might want some more.
Just pile it on top.
Yep.
How is that?
You got it. Now it's time for a grown-up to bring out a match or a lighter. The dry twigs and leaves should light pretty easily. All right. Starting to heat up just a little bit. There we go. Now, you can feed it with more dry twigs and leaves little by little and watch as it takes off. And you can blow lightly at the base of the fire as well.
All right. Ready for this?
Whoa, Flame Master, add some kindling first.
Oh.
Here. When the fire is big enough, then you can start to add larger pieces of fuel.
This is so relaxing. I could do this all day.
I bet you could. But meanwhile, it's time for
The story before the story.
Today, we're in the book of Matthew.
Matthew is one of the 4 books called the Gospels. These books tell stories from the life of Jesus.
Matthew was written down by one of Jesus' followers, a tax collector whose life was turned upside down by his friendship with Jesus.
Matthew recorded that when Jesus was about 30 years old, he began to travel from town to town, teaching and healing. Everywhere Jesus went, big crowds gathered. Some people were desperate to be made well. Others came to hear his teaching.
Jesus didn't turn anyone away, even people who were considered outcasts, which is where our story starts.
Take it away.
Hey everyone, I am Brian. And hey, I've got a question for you. Have you ever wondered what God looks like? I mean, God is so incredibly awesome and amazing and glorious that people can't look directly at God. I mean, when Moses spent time with God on Mount Sinai, Moses' face shone so brightly afterward that he had to cover it. But God wants to be known. God wants to be in a close relationship with us, like a good friend. And that's the reason God sent Jesus. The Apostle Paul wrote that Jesus is the exact likeness of God. Jesus is God's Son. So when we look at the things Jesus said and did, we can know that this is what God is like. Jesus showed us what it means to love others like God does. And one of the most important ways that we can show love is through kindness. Now, it's easy to think of kindness as just, well, being nice, and that's part of it. But Jesus showed us that true kindness goes much deeper. Let's take a look at 3 different times Jesus showed kindness. One day, after Jesus finished teaching, a man with a skin disease threw himself on the ground at Jesus' feet. At that time, if you had a skin disease, there was no easy cure, so you had to stay away from everyone, even your own family. No one wanted to come anywhere near you, much less, actually touch you. The crowd around Jesus would have been horrified.
Ew, get away.
But the sick man was so desperate, he didn't care about the rules.
Lord, if you're willing to make me well, you can do it.
Instead of backing away, Jesus did the unthinkable. He reached out his hand and touched the man.
I am willing to do it. Be clean.
At once, the man was made well. His skin became completely clean and healthy. Through the kindness of Jesus, the man could now return to his family and friends. In fact, Jesus often spent time with those who were overlooked or considered unimportant, like children. Let's take a look at another time that Jesus showed kindness. Now, at this time, people didn't think kids had much value. So when some families brought their kids to see Jesus, his followers stepped in to stop it.
You can't bother Jesus with a bunch of snotty-nosed kids.
Yeah, Jesus is way too busy with important stuff.
Jesus didn't see it that way at all. He stepped in to flip the situation upside down.
Let the little children come to me. Don't keep them away. The kingdom of heaven belongs to people like them.
Jesus didn't care what other people thought. He welcomed those kids, laying his hands on them and blessing them. He showed everyone around him how valuable children truly are. Finally, let's look at a third time that Jesus spent time with some unexpected people. Now, remember how Jesus invited Matthew, who was a tax collector, to follow him? Tax collectors were considered to be traitors to the Jewish people. But when Matthew invited Jesus to dinner, Jesus didn't hesitate to come. He spent time hanging out at a meal with tax collectors and other people who were looked down on for their wrong choices. Of course, the religious leaders were shocked. They demanded of Jesus' followers,
"Why does your teacher eat with tax collectors and sinners?"
Jesus heard what they were saying.
Those who are healthy don't need a doctor. Sick people do. I've not come to get those who think they are right with God to follow me. I've come to get sinners to follow me.
Jesus didn't just spend his time hanging out with people who were important or had it all together. He gave his attention and help to those who were outcast and overlooked. And we can show the kindness of God when we do the same. The end.
I love that since Jesus is God's Son, he gives us this perfect picture of what God is like.
Yeah, he's not just a king, but a friend.
You know, I bet when Jesus was growing up, he always looked for the kid who needed a friend.
Jesus showed incredible kindness to us all by giving up his life so we can be restored to relationship with God.
The ultimate act of kindness.
So, What's our part in the story?
Well, it's easy to be kind to somebody when you might get something out of it, like an invite to a popular kid's birthday party or maybe help with your homework. But Jesus was kind to everyone, especially the people who seem to have the least to offer. So just like Jesus, we can keep our eyes open for people who are often overlooked.
Yeah, like that quiet kid in your class who usually sits alone.
Or the kid who was always picked last for PE.
You can say hi and offer words of encouragement. Let them know that you see them.
And when you're making a list of kids to invite to your birthday party, think about including someone who may not get many invitations.
Or if the checkout lady at the grocery store looks sad or worried, give her a smile.
Or if you live in a place where there are people without homes, ask your parents to keep warm socks and snacks in the car to give away.
It's all good ideas. Everywhere you look, you'll find somebody who needs your kindness to remind them they're valuable.
Someone who needs you to show God's love.
Ask God to help you look for opportunities.
And then be ready to go for it.
You got that right. See you next time.
So, here's the thing. Jesus showed us how to be kind
By treating everyone with love and respect.
and shining God's light everywhere we go, just like a warm, bright campfire.
Or my lantern.
About that.
Oh, hold on.
Well, look at that.
What can I say? I have such bright ideas.
Thanks for joining us in the Story Lab.
See you next time.
So it's like your own makeshift lantern.
I know, I can like see everything. I don't know how to turn the lights back on.
Snap.
Oh, worked.
Woo-wee. I am exhausted,
Oh, you and me both. Man, what a day.
right?
I need to recharge. I wonder if there's a protein bar around here somewhere. Oh. Ah, bingo! Oh, wow.
You got another one of those?
No. Get your own.
Oh, I was just asking.
I'm just telling. Or do I need to spell it out? G-E-T, get, Y-O.
Okay, I'll get my own.
Good.
I don't know where to.
Then you can quit being Mr. Mooch Man.
I am not being. Look, what has gotten into you?
Nothing. Can I just eat my bar without hearing you yammy McYam Yam?
What kind of bar is that?
A fan's one.
Oh, it's a mean bar.
I'm John.
I'm Brandon,
And welcome to the So-and-So Show!
You're probably wondering why we're inside this tent. Well, if there's one thing that John and I like to practice, it's
Gargling the alphabet.
yeah. But we also try to practice kindness. We're actually practicing right now by playing a game we call Intense Intense.
Who's this third person?
You see, John and I have been inside this tent for over 12 hours.
Yeah, and so far it hasn't been bad at all.
That's right. Well, except for
Pass me another can of beans, please.
sure.
Yeah.
Yep. I think I'll have another can too.
All right. This was a good idea.
Yeah.
Right, except for that. But our goal is to stay in the tent together for 24 whole hours.
While continuing to show kindness the entire time, which sounds easy, but you know, sometimes when you're in a confined space with another human being for a long time.
Yeah, you start to notice every little flaw, like every little knuckle crack, or every smell, every little clearing of the throat. That's apparently a habit, but you never noticed before when you were on the outside. But now it just pounds in your ear every time you hear it, and you want to scream out, "Why don't you just drink some water or something? It can drive you crazy."
Well, it's a good thing that's not happening to us.
Yeah, good thing.
Kindness. But it's more than just hanging out in a tent for a whole day. We wanted to challenge ourselves by competing in games that can sometimes get pretty intense, which means the only way to make it the whole time is by being kind.
And the next game is Hot Dog Bun Slap. Oh, well, it was hard.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to hit you so hard.
You know what? That's all right. That's all right. It's part of the game.
Oh,
Okay. Kindness. Next up, capture the flag.
All right.
I'm gonna get your flag.
oh, you're not.
I'm gonna get it.
No way.
Yeah. Yeah!
Ah, man.
Told you I'd get it.
You did, but I tagged you.
Yeah, but that doesn't count intent version.
Oh, good strategy then.
Thanks.
You're a really good cheater.
What was that?
Nothing. Kindness.
Kindness.
Now, how about a little pickleball?
Oh, nice shot. Nice shot. Thank you.
You go ahead.
Oh, okay.
Oh, hey. Oh, a little aggressive.
Oh,
Yeah, don't have to hit it that
oh,
hard.
I'm sorry. Sorry. Whoops.
All right.
Man, I think that was in. Right? Oh, look at that.
Good comeback.
You can't get me. How about that?
Why are you hitting it
about
so?
that?
How about this? Huh? Come on!
No.
It's too hard.
No,
right?
it's not. No,
yes,
it's not.
It is. You're hitting it too
No,
hard.
that's the name of the game.
No, it is not. The game
Come
is
on,
pickleball.
yeah, it is. Look.
Ow!
Look at that.
Ow!
Look at that.
No, where is it?
Oh, whoops. No, this is not frog ball.
All right. We need to take a little break.
Yeah, I agree.
It's Bible story time.
That was an intense pickleball game. No worries, it happens. Did you know that last year there were over 19,000 pickleball injuries?
What?
Oh yeah, people get crazy. I actually think you guys were handling the competitiveness pretty well.
You do?
Yep, until the end there. But I love that you guys are practicing being kind. That's actually what today's Bible story is all about.
Then take it away.
Yeah, take it away.
Okay, quick setup / recap. Today's Bible story is actually 3 separate stories all about Jesus and how he showed kindness. You could say these are some of Jesus's greatest hits.
Whoa there. Hold your horses. It is clearly stated in our contract, if you say Bible story, recap, and greatest hits all in the same paragraph, then you are obliged to have me, Melv Solomon, and my brother-in-law Greg on the show. It's down there in the addendums, right next to having chicken salad in the dressing room.
I like tuna salad.
Enough chit-chat, Greg. Tickle those ivories. Glad you came. Glad you're here. I know it's getting late, but never fear. We'll give a blow-by-blow of the Bible story on the Melv Solomon Story Recap. Thank you. you, thank you. Hey, you just do your thing, and Greg and I will add some sporadic but much needed musical support.
I get pain in my sciatic.
Have you tried Zumba? I hear it works wonders. We'll talk later. Let's get to this thing. Go!
Right. Okay, so Jesus was very kind, as you know. The 4 Gospels are filled with stories of Jesus' kindness. The first one we're going to tell today happened when Jesus encountered a man who had a skin disease.
Oh, skin problems. You know all about that, don't you, Greg?
Just when I ate chocolate.
Play the song I'm thinking of. You wake up happy, you soon turn sad. You stare in the mirror and smile a bit, then you see a zit. Now you're not happy, you're really sad. But there's an answer and it's so simple. Just pop that pimple and make sure you clean off the mirror. What happened next in the story?
Actually, this skin problem was a little more serious than that. 2,000 years ago, if you had a skin disease, you were an outcast. People didn't want to have anything to do with you because they were afraid they might catch it. But Jesus wasn't afraid. When the man got down on his knees in front of Jesus and said, "Lord, if you're willing to make me clean, you can do it," Jesus reached out his hand and touched the man. "I am willing to do it," he said. "Be clean." And right away, the man was healed of his skin disease.
Whoa! Whoa! Jesus healed him just like that? Isn't that incredible, Greg? Greg!
Pimple popper!
Simmer down, Greg. You're having a daymare.
Oh.
So, when everyone else was trying to move away from the man with the skin disease, Jesus was moving toward him?
That's right. Jesus was kind, and he showed the man that he was valuable. Jesus did that a lot. He chose to spend time with people that no one else would, people like children. You see, believe it or not, back then, if you were a kid, you didn't get a lot of respect. You were often overlooked. But with Jesus, it was different. There was this one time when some people brought little children to see Jesus because they wanted Jesus to pray for them. But the disciples tried to shoo the children away.
We know what that's like, don't we, Greg? You remember when we got shooed off the stage in Hoboken?
Every day.
But a song came out of it. Hit it, Greg. So mean. Why you gotta be so mean? We just wanted to sing for you, but instead you kicked us in the spleen.
Ow.
So rude. Why were you so rude? We were there to entertain you, but no, we were shooed off the stage. How'd the little kiddos react when they were rebuffed?
Oh, well, actually, Jesus didn't let it happen. When the disciples tried to shoo the children away, Jesus said, "Let the little children come to me. Don't keep them away. The kingdom of heaven belongs to people like them." Then Jesus blessed them and prayed for them. Jesus, he was kind to everyone, even people who were disliked by everyone else. There was this guy named Matthew. He was a tax collector. And back in those days, tax collectors were disliked because they were known for cheating people out of their money. But Jesus actually chose Matthew to be one of his closest disciples. And later that day, Jesus had dinner at Matthew's house with the other tax collectors. He did that, even though everyone else despised them.
Well, you know what song that reminds me of, don't you, Greg?
The one about the turnip!
That's the one. Hit it. I've been looking everywhere for something exactly like you. I don't care what the others say, that you're bitter and just won't do. I know you've been thrown away, discarded and torn up, but you're exactly what I'm looking for.
Because you're a turnip.
Beautiful, Greg. A little flat, but beautiful.
Thank you.
So, how'd everybody else feel after they saw Jesus hanging with the tax collectors?
Actually, the religious leaders at the time didn't like it at all. When they saw Jesus having dinner, they asked his disciples, "Why does your teacher eat with tax collectors and sinners?" Jesus heard this and replied, "Those who are healthy don't need a doctor. Sick people do. I have not come to get those who think they are right with God to follow me. I have come to get sinners to follow me." So, in case you missed it, Jesus was kind to people who were sick and needed help. He was kind to people who were often overlooked and forgotten, and Jesus was kind to people no one else was kind to. Basically, Jesus showed us how to be kind. And when we follow his example, we can help share God's love with the people around us.
Wow. You know, I think that calls for one last song to wrap things up in a bow. What say you, Greg?
Yeah.
Play the tune. There are people in your life filled with worry and strife. There are people who need a hand. There are people who are praying you would notice how their day's been when it hasn't turned out how they planned. So be kind to those people when you meet them every day. Just like Jesus showed us, kindness goes a long way.
Wow, that was lovely. Thank you guys so much.
Anytime.
You are welcome.
So, what'd you think, fellas?
Jesus gave us perfect examples of how we should treat others.
Yeah, and he didn't just do it for a day. He did it over and over. He showed us how to be kind.
I think we needed that encouragement.
No problem. Until next time, see ya.
Would you like some water?
Oh, yes, please, thank you.
Reveal the question!
What does kindness look like?
Yeah, it could be standing up for someone who's being picked on.
Or inviting someone new over to play video games.
Yeah, it could be a helping hand.
Or just a perfectly timed smile.
Kindness is something you need to keep practicing. And speaking of, we still got 11 hours left. Do you think we can make it?
We're gonna give it our best shot.
Yeah, we are. Kindness.
We'll see you next week for a brand new show.
Yes, we will. Yes, we will.
Yeah. Kindness.